So what's up, guys? I've got Nick Laurie, and Nick is a privateer rookie, and I sat down and talked with him for a little bit, learn a little bit about him and how this process works for rookies that aren't prospects, that aren't drafted right onto the pro circuits or star Yamaha type teams, and how they have to bring money to the table. And the teams that they're bringing the money to, it's more like carpool racing, where these guys all bring a particular sponsor, they pool it, they get more exposure, they hire mechanics, they hire engine builders. But Nick needs to find some sponsors for his team, so we sat down, talked about it, and I'm going to bring Nick on all next year. So whoever decides to help him and get him onto the team that he's negotiating with, you will be the title sponsor for the Nick Laurie check-in each week. So check it out. Get to know Nick. He's a great kid, a really good talent, and let's see where it goes from here. All right, guys. So I'm here with rookie privateer and all-around good dude, Nick Laurie. Nick, man, how are you doing, brother?
Dude, I'm doing great. I'm just excited to get to talk to people and just tell them a little bit about what's going on in my life.
So now, I've talked to you. I've known you for a while because you're one of Coach Rob's guys. In fact, you were on the original Cooksey and the Coach podcast back in the day, and we've talked about concussions and stuff. But you're through all that, and you're turning pro this year. Tell me about what you got going on and just how hard. And I talk a lot about the privateers and how it works and how the struggles are. A lot of people just see the big rig and they don't understand the actual way you get to the big rig. You want to break it down for some people?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like, you can definitely be one of those guys that just and not take anything away from them because they worked hard for it. But as an amateur, they're really good, and that kind of translates to the pros, and that doesn't go without hard work or being really talented. But then there's also some people that are really talented and maybe just didn't get the credit they deserved. And I'm not saying that's me because I wasn't always the hardest worker, but I definitely coming into the pros, um, I'm really prioritizing my work ethic and being diligent about my training and how everything is set up. And like I said, it's a big difference between privateer and factory, but it's just a little more extra work.
So tell me how you got to this point. So you're racing amateur. You raced, didn't you race a couple of nationals too?
Yeah, so I raced amateur. I wasn't always that great. Like, I definitely had my years that I did really good and I really surprised some people. But then with that, I had some bad years where it was either bike troubles or me with the concussion. Like, I had that whole year where it was just concussion after concussion after concussion, and that really hurt me. Um, and then I also did some racing across the country in Dominican Republic, and that was technically my first pro race.
Oh, okay. So now what's your plan heading into the season and when are we going to see you make your Supercross debut? Because I know you did some futures. Did that help, by the way?
Oh, 100%. I think I always thought like the features thing, and not like before it was kind of the track was tamed down. You did it on Sunday. I really thought that wasn't really that beneficial, but this was really beneficial for. And I wish they had more people had the opportunity to do it because it is very hard to get into. It's not exactly easy. You have to kind of be selected, but I thought that was very beneficial.
Yeah, I love the futures program, but like you said, I wish they had a better qualification system to get people into it because there's a lot of qualified riders that have not got in, and it really that's a pain in the ass, and it does make it kind of a more of a show than an actual the best sports. We might not be getting some of the best riders; they might not be getting the opportunities. But tell me about your program this year. How are you? So I talk a lot about the privateers and the struggle and how much money it costs and how little money the series pays back. How the hell does a privateer rookie look at it, pencil it out, and go racing, Nick?
I would honestly break it down to personality and charisma and how hard you can work, not on the track, not in the gym, but how hard you can work reaching out to people and just being that person that, like, yeah, I really like him. He's a good person. And not saying that no one's a good person or even good people don't get sponsors, but you have to be really charismatic and really talk your way into someone helping you out, because it's not easy for businesses just to like, here's money. They have to get a return on their investment.
Well, I'll say this right now, you're ahead of the game by understanding the return on investment for sponsors, because a lot of people just think, oh, I'm fast, I deserve it. Nobody deserves anything. And these sponsors, they bring their money because they're, that's their advertising budget. That's how they generate new customers, new sales. And so you have to be able to bring something else to the table. But break it down for me financial wise. Like, okay, so once you decide and make the decision to go pro, what bikes do you have? How do you do a travel fund? Can you pencil it out a little bit for me and how that works and what are your options for the year? Because I mean, I'm looking at today's economy and gas isn't cheap, travel isn't cheap, food isn't cheap, and yet you're about to embark on an entire season of traveling across the country with purse money that barely covers your entry fee.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like, I mean, the economy's not the best and businesses aren't doing that great. But breaking it down, it really depends. We kind of figure it out between just Supercross, between two bikes, motors, suspension. It's gonna cost. It would probably cost around $80,000 to $90,000, and that's not travel expense. It's still $1,000 a weekend for between flights and hotels and whatever car rental.
$1,000, you're getting a bargain, dude. I don't know where you're staying, but it's not the Hyatt
Oh
Regency,
yeah,
that's
it's
for
definitely
sure.
not glamorous. It's definitely figure a way out.
Yeah, and then so they upped the license fee. I think the license fee is like what, 650 this year?
I want to say you're correct on that.
Wow, don't quote me on that. I don't know exactly. And then I believe
Yeah, don't
entry
quote me.
entry fees are entry fees are like $300. So before the first race, you're $1,000 to the promoters before you even set foot on their track as their product, which that blows me away. And I still cannot understand how people allow that to happen, but it's because of the dream. And you have the dream, and I don't want to take that from you. Like, I get it. I understand how you are as a kid. Like, this is your whole life. You've been working on it. You're training. You have a small window to go get it. You don't want to be the one that takes a stand and gets banned or does anything like that. So, but what? So how do can we announce anything? What are you doing? Are you trying to get some sponsorship? Like, where are you at on your program right now?
Yeah, so I'm looking into. I'm not gonna go too much in depth because nothing's really done yet, but we're looking into a team right now. Um, and it's not a factory team, so as far as that goes, we are still looking for sponsors. Um, so that's kind of what I'm working on right now. Like I said, it's not easy. You have to be very charismatic and you have to know the right people. And sometimes it's either one or the other. You know people and you can't get them to buy, or you don't know people, but you can get them to buy if you got in front of them. And like I said, for you, the racing side of how fast you are, you kind of have to put that away and not let that fill your ego. You have to bring it back to like, what can I do for you as a business? What do we need to make happen so you feel fulfilled on your side of investment?
No, and like you say, Logan Carnell has done an amazing job with that and finding outside fans, and he's got OnlyFans, and there's ways to get creative. You got to bust your butt, but the way now I'm going to say this because I know you can't really say it, but I'm going to say it, and and correct me if I'm wrong anywhere here. But a lot of the smaller teams, the way they work is they're not working on gigantic budgets. It's usually somebody who's pretty well off or has a son that wants to go racing, so they buy a semi, they hire some mechanics, they find someone to do motors, and then they want to hire a team. The problem is to get these lower level riders, a lot of times when you see guys on our team, they didn't just have the team sign them. They brought money and a sponsor to the team to make sure to help cover expenses. It's more like a group effort. It's more like carpool racing than it is like
Yeah,
a team that just hired you because, and I understand that's the way they have to do it, but am I wrong? And it's crazy. Fans, I don't think fans understand that dude just brought $50,000 to be a part of that lower level team.
yeah. I mean, and it's not spoken enough, and it's not anything on them because without them, there'd be a lot of riders without any teams. So justification on their part, like they're doing amazing, because it probably costs them way more than that to actually do it. Um,
Oh, oh, trust me, those smaller teams that are doing this, they're not doing that because they're not good people. They're doing it because it's the only way they can survive because they're probably losing money too.
yeah, absolutely. And like I said, like you said, Carnell's really good at it. But I guarantee, like, and just for me personally, I've kind of realized talking to people and getting sponsors is probably just as or probably harder than the actual training part on the bike and the gym.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's part of it. You have to be a top world class racer, and you have to be a really damn good salesman at the same time. And I love, and that's why what we're doing this today is I'm a big fan of yours. I've followed you for a long time, and I want to make sure you get your name out there and market yourself. And now, are you looking for sponsors for this year? How can people find you? How can they help you if they decide they want to be part of the Nick Laurie team?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I'm still open to a lot of sponsors, open to a lot of things and opportunities. And that's just kind of me personally. Like I'm willing to adjust things and find a way fit for someone to be part of my team. If they want to reach me, there's my email. It's nicklaurie226 at gmail.com. And then my Instagram is _ Nick Laurie.
Okay, now one way or the other, you're going racing on the East Coast, is that right?
Yes.
And obviously, we can't announce any bikes or teams or anything yet, but it's looking good. It looks like you might have some stuff lined up. You just need to bring in some money. So I want to reach out to the Cooksey Mob. If anyone now, okay, so if somebody donates money to you, are you selling? What can they buy on your bike? What can they buy? Can they buy something where you promote their product on Instagram? What are you selling to the people who are looking to get involved in the Nick Laurie program?
Yeah, I mean, like, so I have a proposal sheet of it's all my races, who I am. It gives you like my whole childhood basically. It's like a biography of me, and I typed that up. And like I said, it took me a long time. And I'm not exactly the smartest. I was a homeschooled kid that raced dirt bikes, but I definitely did my work on that part. But if you got anyone's interested, there's that I can give out. I can email you. But the tier list is kind of funny because it's it's a really bad part of our sport is there's not a lot of spots on our bike for promotion. So we have to go to social media, we have to go other things. So if as far as I can go as saying what you guys get, I'm gonna make it work for someone. Like whether you want my number plate after every race, I'm gonna send that to you. If you want my helmet at the year, I'll send that to you. If and another thing I'm really working on this year is my newsletter, email wise. So I have a newsletter that's gone through my dad's business, my friends' businesses, my sponsor businesses, and I've collected probably 30 to 40,000 emails. And I'm just gonna do like a weekly update. Like say we leave Arlington, I'm gonna type out, "Hey guys, Arlington went great. I struggled in the whoops, but today I'm recovering." And whatever that sponsor may be, I'm gonna try to incorporate them to give them a shout out, and I'm gonna do my best to, really advertise everyone in the best way possible.
Can I ask you one thing on the newsletter? Please do not make it read like a press release.
Oh no.
People don't want those press releases, the politically correct. I want to hear I was running third in the main and so took my front wheel out, followed by a scuffle in the pits. Um, I shouldn't have acted that way, but I did, but I'll get better, guys. Like I want to see some hard truth in there. And obviously you got to cover your ass a little bit, but I want to see authentic information. And have you thought about and also, do you have a YouTube channel?
So that's something we're gonna work on. I've always been the type, and you probably know this a little bit. I've always been the type to like kind of grind in silence. I never did like social media. Um, but now we're getting to the point where that's a must, and I'm really working hard on my social media and doing things and YouTube channels and all that. So as far as that goes, that's going to grow. I'm going to make sure that grows to the best of my ability and whatever I can do. And we're going to, whoever invests in me, whether it's $500 or $5,000, whatever, I'm going to make it worth their while.
And you know what, Nick? I'm gonna put this out there, and you tell me if this would work or not. So, if anyone wants to bring some money to your program and be a part of the program, I'm offering. So not only will you get Nick Laurie, you're going to get, if you want to check in with me after the races, like each East West, like every, one day after the race, we're going to do a 10-minute video check-in brought to you by that sponsor on this channel for you. And we're gonna talk about the race, and I'm gonna be brutally honest with you and see, like, Nick, what were you doing? Or, dude, great job. Are you cool with that, dude? You want to try something like that?
I'm cool with that. I love that stuff.
And then I'm going to also force you to start your own YouTube channel, and we're also going to promote your YouTube channel. And I'm going to send you the video too, so we can post it here and on your YouTube channel. And we're gonna help you. I'm gonna jumpstart you in this marketing thing, dude. I think you're a great kid. I know how talented you are, and I just think that people need to understand who you are, and I think people will get behind you.
Yeah, definitely. And I I feel like all my sponsors currently aren't sponsors. It's like a community. So if another person comes in and helps me, then everyone else is gonna help you. It's not gonna be me just say, it's gonna be this sponsor, this sponsor, this sponsor. I'm gonna ask them and they're gonna go out of their way to help you too.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna, like I said, this will just be the Nick Laurie check-in, and whatever sponsors are, these are your sponsors. This won't be my sponsors. I'm just gonna do a little. We're gonna do a check-in, and you're gonna be brutally honest with me, and we're gonna have some fun, and I'm gonna get you used to this camera. And like I say, let's build the Nick Laurie brand, and let's sell some products for the people who want to get behind you, and really turn this thing around. And I mean, I don't know. I hope it works for you. But just so you know, even if you have a bad week, I'm going to make you come on here, um, and talk about it. If you're injured, you're going to come and talk about other people. How about that? So these sponsors are going to get their money either way, just by helping you out, brother.
Oh, absolutely. Like I love that type of stuff. I've always been a very talkative person. Um, I don't care if I'm in the hospital bed with a broken femur. You better know I'm gonna be on
Oh
this
no,
call.
man! I'm not going to get you when you're high on drugs. Well, actually, that might be a good show, but I
That
don't
might
want
be
to
a
do
fun
that to
show.
you. Yeah, well, no, you're going to be healthy, and I think you're going to have a really good season. And I hope it comes through with the team that you're, kind of talking with. I hope you can get the backing to be on that team. I really like those guys, and I think they've got a good program, and I think you're ready. And so okay, so let's say you join on that team, which I'm pretty sure you are, and we'll put it out there, law of attraction. You're going to be on this team, and we'll announce it as soon as we can. What are the results? Where do you expect as a rookie season? Main events? Are you looking for a podium? Like, where are you at?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be realistic. I feel like a lot of people in the rookie season have really high expectations, and it's it's not it's not something to take lightly. These dudes are badass, like every one of them. Even the guy from qualifying 60th to Tomac, like they're all pretty badass people.
Oh,
Um,
dude, it's ridiculous. Like, you go to the local track and you see. I love Devin Raper. I think he's a great guy. But when you see him on a supercross track compared to the top guys, I'm not gonna lie, he looks a little squiddish. But if you saw him on the track by himself with no one else, you're like, dude, that guy is insane. And it is a different level of human at that upper echelon. I truly believe you can get there. And I've seen you, and I've watched, and I've seen the talent that you have. But yes, you're right. It's building blocks. I think if we could just get you in the main events this year, I think you've got the endurance, and I think we could build off of that. Would that be reasonable?
yeah, definitely night shows main events is my goal. And like I said, who knows? You even have to, as good as Deegan is, you have to take his mentality where they were just going for a building season, and he skyrocketed. And I think that's a better way to go about it than expectations are high and coming up short.
Absolutely. But what I like to judge is the effort, and the determination. Like, does somebody go out there? Are they giving it their all, or are they surrendering? Like Deegan, I did not honestly. I figured he was a kid that had everything handed to him, and I thought he didn't have that dog in him to fight. I was wrong, but I know you got that dog in you, and you fight too. So
Yeah, I love to get in there and fight. I'm definitely not the type to give up. And and that's my whole round life mentality where, like I said, supercross is hard and sponsors are hard, money's hard. Um, and it would have been so easy for me to, like, you know what, I'm over. Like, I'm gonna go live a normal life for. I was like, no, I've worked for this for a long time. This is what I want. I'm gonna make it happen.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up, but I want to give you a funny question, and this is what I want to bring to people during the week. So hypothetically, if I went to your family and friends and said, "Hey, Nick got arrested," you didn't get arrested. I'm just joking. But I said, "Hey, Nick got arrested." What would their guess be as to what you did?
It would have to be driving fast
I
because
like that.
I don't like I grew up around like Pastrana and all them in Maryland. So it just must be that Maryland mentality of you get in a car, you just turn into a NASCAR driver. And I'm not on the highway endangering other people. I love going the back roads and like shifting the car and pretending I'm in a rally car.
Oh, be careful, dude. Even Pastrana, I mean, he got a rude awakening. Do you remember when he wrapped the
I
Corvette?
remember that.
Okay, so just be careful. These cars aren't built. There's not a lot of runoff on the roads, and you've got moms and families. So be careful with that. But I'm glad, and like I said, you're not actually breaking the law. But I just wanted to know what people would say. So, where again can people find you? And what's your Instagram handle? Can they follow you over there?
So it's underscore Nick Laurie. And yeah, like I'm even kind of thinking about the idea of doing giveaways for my Instagram followers, just random ones. They don't do anything. But if you follow me, I'll do a random giveaway. I don't care. Because I really do struggle with social media and followers. So, I mean, go follow me and you may get something out of it. But it's underscore Nick Laurie. And then my email is nicklaurie226@gmail.com.
You got it, brother. All right. Well, we're gonna get your media game. We're gonna get your marketing game up this year. You focus on riding. And like I said, we're gonna bring you in after the races and I'm not gonna keep you for 30 minutes, 40 minutes. We're gonna come in and do 10-minute check-ins wherever you are. We're gonna get you familiar with YouTube and we're gonna give whoever decides to sponsor you some serious bang for their buck, Nick. So all right, brother. You have a wonderful weekend and a Merry Christmas, and I will catch you later.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys too. You all have a Merry Christmas. I don't know when this is coming out. Hopefully around. Maybe you give it to them as a Christmas present, you know?
I'm gonna drop it in the next day or so. I'm gonna probably
That'd
this
be sick.
afternoon, man. So
Yeah, so Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas to you. And hit me up. We'll make something happen and just keep watching Cooksey and keep watching me. We'll do some cool stuff.
guys, thanks for watching. If you want to help Nick, reach out to him. Thank my sponsors, Coach Rob, CoachRobStore.com, Epic Garage, EpicGarageDesigns.com, Strapped at RideStrap.com, and also Precision Transport at PreTransport.com. Thanks, guys. Subscribe, and I'll catch you later.